Good evening. About time that I did another accordion restoration, and I've got a little bit of a interesting one here. This is an old Hohner Carmen 2, 24 bass. These are just nice accordions. They always have these kind of old Hohners have a nice rich kind of vintagey kind of sound which I really like. And one of the good things about doing a little 24 bass is that you've got less reeds to work with, and it's only 2 voice, so you've got a bit less to do. It's cosmetically it's okay. The straps were just completely junk, so I'm just going to cut the buckles off and make some new straps with some new leather because these are just junk really. That's okay. It's all right. Now what I've noticed is that on the back, as you can see, there's on the back bellows tape, a lot of it is actually worn off, so I'm going to do a lot of bellows retaping on the back definitely. The sides and the front actually are pretty good, they just need a bit of a clean and pretty okay. Now I just had a quick look at it, and the compression for something which is about 80 years old is pretty good. So if I just test it out, I'm just going to turn this around a touch. There we go, try that. If I just close the bellows and then pull them without doing any keys, there's a kind of resistance there, and that's not a good sign because it just means there's no massive holes in the bellows, because if there's holes in the bellows you'd just be able to do it as if you're pressing the air button like that, which when I don't press the air button there's resistance, so that's good. Now something rattling inside I can hear, so there's probably a bit of wood or something that's come off, so I'm going to have to have a good look inside. I'll just show you quickly, even there's a bit of wood somewhere inside there, what it sounds like, which is not brilliant obviously because it's just not being restored. That sounds beautiful, doesn't it? If I just try and do a tune. Wonderful. So that's nice because it gives a little bit of an indication of what kind of condition it's in, and also I can do an after at the end when I finish the video, and hopefully it'll be all singing. A few other things I've noticed that some of the keys were a bit uneven, and one of the keys has just got, it looks like it's been melted a bit, so what I'm after is take that off, take the kind of the plastic off the wooden underneath bit, flatten it, and stick it back on again. But other than that, it's kind of quite straightforward. So first job is to get it apart, have a look inside and see if I can work out. Hey, look at that, there's something going on in there. So let's take the bellows pins out. Look at that, something's wedged, and have a look inside and just see what on earth's going on with this little Hohner. So just going to do that. So and what's happened is what was causing it to wedge was one of the reed blocks. It just decided to come out, stick up vertically. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just change the angle, oh my god, and I'll show you what it looks like from the inside. Okay, so first of all, the hello, sorry, not the camera. The treble side The reed blocks are both in. There's 2 blocks, one for the black notes and one for the white notes by the look of things. And the good thing about the reeds is that they're not heavily corroded. They're dirty, but I can't see kind of rust on the actual reeds themselves, which is a good thing. So it means this has been kept dry. It hasn't been in a damp shed or garage or loft or something. So it hasn't kind of had a chance for the reeds to go rusty. They just haven't been serviced. So that's a good thing. So it means I can get cracking on those, get those reeds out, get them cleaned, get them revolved, get them rewaxed, and then check the tuning. So that's going to be a nice little job. So I don't mind doing that. On the bass side, one of the clamps holding the reed block in had just come off. The glue had just dried up, and so that little reed block would have gone in something like that. And these reed block, this one here is just fixed in. It's a standard thing for these kind of, that's actually glued into the bass side. So I'll have to take those reeds out with the reed block still there. And then this one, which comes out very easily, it's looking all right. A little bit of corrosion, but I can clean that off, but not massive. It's not like they're not really rusty, so they just need a good old clean sorting out. So I'm quite happy with what I'm up against. The pallets, I can actually see through the grill cloth. Just lift that up a little bit. I can see through the grill cloth that all the keys are working. And there's no issues, no sticky keys. So I'm quite happy with that. It just means that I can hear them clacking. So they need some felt and leather on the pallets and things like that, but that's all fine. So I think this is going to be a nice little project, and I think it's going to sound really nice when it's finished. So I think it's time to get started. So what I'm going to do first of all is concentrate on the treble side reed blocks. So I'll get those out and then I'll show you how I'm going to tackle that little part. So just give me a tick. Okay, so the treble side reed blocks came out, just 2 little screws or clamps holding them in just in here. There's kind of felt down here, which is where the reed blocks will sit. So that's in really nice condition. So actually, all in all, this is actually in good shape for its age. I hope I'm in this good a shape when I'm 80. So that's fine. So I'm going to put that to one side. Time to tackle the treble side reeds. And with these Hohners, one of the nice things that you find is they put a little H on one side of the reeds, and it's the side facing up. And what that means is when you take the reeds out, you know which way to put it back in again. Now that does make a bit of difference because the reeds will be slightly differently tuned depending on which way around they are because of the acoustics of how they play. So you'll find that if you just took the reeds out and just put them back upside down, it would still sound okay, but you might have to do a bit more tuning because of the acoustics changes. But what Hohner do is they put a little H on the outside reed, on the outside of the reed plate. So when you take the reeds out, you just know which way around to put it back in again, which is really nice. So what I've got here is 2 sets of reeds, and we've got a lower set and a higher set. If I just blow through, I can hear that this side is playing higher than that side. So all I'm going to do on my little reed block, I'm just going to mark out just a H and an L so I don't get those 2 muddled up. And I'm going to take one set out, put them aside, take the other set out, put them down, and make sure that when I've cleaned them, I've kept them in the same set, because I don't want to mix up the 2 sets, because one set of reeds is tuned to pitch, which could be A440 or something, and then the other set will be tuned above it normally to give you the tremolo, and you don't want to get those two sets muddled up because it will become a real pain to get the tuning right again. So the next step then is to get the reeds out, arrange them on here, and then I'll start cleaning them all up. So just give me a second while I get my tools ready. Right, now the next thing is to get these reeds out. I'm going to start with the higher tuned set of reeds, the tremolo reeds, and there's little nails just holding each reed in, and you've got to get these nails out. So I'm just going to use a little tiny flat blade screwdriver and just going to lift they're all out. So those pins I'm not going to put back in, don't need them really, because I'm going to wax them in nicely, so I don't want to put the pins back in. So you can go in the bin. And the other thing I've noticed that the top highest pitch 3 have been put upside down, which you often see, and it's just to do with the way that they sound, I guess. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to little mark on here, and U, so that I'm going to put those in upside down when I come back to do it. Right, now the next step is to get a very high-tech tool, which is just a Swiss Army knife. And before we do that, I'm going to get a sharp craft knife. And what I'm going to do is score. Actually, I might just put a bit more light on. Hey, not too much light, I don't know. I'm going to score with my sharp craft knife just along the top edge of the reeds and down the side. And what I'm doing is just making it a bit easier to get these out so that I don't cause any damage to the wood. So now I've given them a score. Just going to get my Swiss Army knife, and there we are, and they pop out nice and easy without really causing any damage. You just got to be a little bit careful not to dig into the wood, just try to get underneath the reed. So that's all the reeds out. So I'm going to clean up the reed block in a minute. Now next step is to take all of the valves off. Just a quick question of peeling them off. So just get them all off. The next step is to just get your blade again and just scrape off any excess wax from around the reed, and then also if you've got any residue of glue where the valve's been stuck down, just very carefully you can scrape it off, or you could just get some fine 240 grit sandpaper and just as carefully as you can without scratching too much, just remove the glue. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through these and remove all the excess wax and glue. I'm just going to crack on with that for a sec. That's quite a messy job, that one. So they're all kind of roughly cleaned up, not roughly, but you know, just get the main bits off. And what I'm going to do now is pop these into my ultrasonic cleaner for about 15 minutes, and then here I'm going to put some hot water, drop a fairy liquid, and just let them clean. And then when they come out, I'm going to get a hairdryer and just dry them really thoroughly, so they're really kind of nice and dry, and then they'll be ready for revolving. So I'm just going to set that up for a minute. Let me just get myself organised. Okay, so I'm going to pop these into my ultrasonic for about 15 minutes. I think I'm desperate need of a good old clean, so that'll just be nice to get them all sparkly. I'll just do that, put them in, and whilst I'm going to do that, I'm going to clean up the wax. Plug that in. That's going. Now actually, before I clean up the wax, one of the things I'm going to show is I want to make sure that the reed block is as flat as I can get it on the bottom edge, so that there's less likelihood of air leaking between the reed block and the treble side of the accordion. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a pencil line across the bottom of the reed block. And then I've got a mirror, and I've stuck some sandpaper onto the mirror, so that's a nice flat surface. Just bring it down a sec. And then we're just going to do this. Like that. And then have a look. And then once all the pencil lines have gone, that's telling me that that is then as flat as that mirror, which is as flat as I need it really. So I'm just going to keep going with this. Actually, I might put it on my lap like this. Oh, okay, I think that's good. That's looking nice. So, last little thing before I get the reeds out is I'm just going to take off any of the remaining wax. Now I've got a special tool somewhere. Where is he? I can find it. There it is. Little kind of cutlery knife that I've sharpened up. I just sawed it off straight and sharpened it. It's brilliant for just scraping off wax. I don't have any tools, so I'll just use this to get just brush out all the bits and bobs. Looking nice. So that's now, obviously I've got that side to do as well, so I'm going to do that, but I won't film that bit because it's exactly the same as that side. So that's good. I'm just clear up my mess. So last little bit is I'm going to get these reeds out. They've had a nice good clean, so I'm just going to then get my hairdryer on them and make sure they're thoroughly dry. So just get them all out. Have a quick look. Okay, so these reeds have now been cleaned. I'm going to give them a little final wipe with a soft cloth in a second, but they're pretty good. So that's all nice. Just put them like this so you can just see them in order, and the reed block has been cleaned up. So that's going to be it for this little video, and what I will be doing is doing exactly the same thing to what I've done on that side of the reed block, and same thing to the reeds, and I'll do the same thing to the second reed block, exactly the same. It's just these are for the blackcoats, there's less of them. And then once I've done all of that, the next video I'll then start valving these up and then waxing them back into the reed block, and that'll be the next bit. Okay, so there we are. That's the first step of restoring this Hohner Carmen 24 bass accordion. Okay, thanks for watching.